Welcome back to the Us vs. Them channel. I'm your host Vince, and we're going to break down the next fight for the upcoming fight night we have this weekend. We have Charles Radtke versus Daniel Frunza. Charles Radtke is sitting at a minus 170 favorite, and Daniel Frunza is sitting at a plus 138 underdog. Before I get into the breakdowns, if I can just remind you guys, hit the like button for this video, subscribe to the channel, all that shit. I really appreciate you guys. So thanks for watching, and let's get into this breakdown. Here we have another pick'em fight, but a pick'em fight to me is just another opportunity to make money. And I'm really excited to break this one down. Charles Radtke is definitely the type of fighter that showed in his UFC career so far that he kind of has a lived up by the sword, die by the sword approach. In his last four MMA bouts, or UFC bouts, I mean, he's won twice by knockout, and he's got knocked out twice. So it just kind of shows that he's just that type of fighter. He's going to go in there, put himself in position to land the damaging shots, but in doing so, he's also putting himself in position to get those damaging shots land on him as well. So he's fun to watch, makes it fun to watch for the fans, but it can be a little challenging to predict for somebody like me who likes to do predictions on YouTube. Radtke carries big power in his hands. He has big hooks, especially his left hook. We've seen him finish guys in the past with his hook combination before. But not only does he have big power in his hands, but we've seen him use his wrestling in the past. We've seen him lean on his wrestling, look for takedowns, especially double leg takedowns. We've seen him have some success in there with getting takedowns. We've also seen him in the past get stuffed when he's tried to get takedowns. One thing that I've learned about Charles Radtke is he's not super strong with he's not super confident with his wrestling abilities, at least. A high-level wrestler who's very confident in their abilities is going to continue to shoot. They're not going to get discouraged by getting stuffed once or twice. Charles Radtke is the type of fighter that we've seen in the past that you stuff one or two of his takedowns, and he starts to drift away from that wrestling approach. Listen, the UFC matchmakers knew what they were doing when they put these two guys together to have a fight. This is going to go one of two ways. It's either going to be a really exciting round 1 KO, or it's going to turn into a dogfight. I don't think that there's really any other possibility for this fight. So either way, that the real winner of this fight is definitely going to be the fans. So definitely going to be want to tune in to watch this one. But between those two options, I'm leaning more towards it starting to become a dogfight. We've seen that before time and time again, where there's a high likelihood of the fighters having a knockout, and sometimes they either respect each other too much, or they're both really durable, or there's some combination of both, and the fight just doesn't play out the way that the odds makers and the fans expect it to. And I think this is a prime example of that happening. The over-1.5 rounds for this one is sitting at plus 120, and I think that there's really good value in that. I think that this fight has potential to go past round and a half, and I also see it having potential to even make it into the distance. As this starts to become more of a gritty fight, more of a dog fight, it's going to start to favor the guy. I think it's going to start to favor the guy who's been here before, who's had tough dog fights before, and I think that person is going to be Daniel Frunza. We've seen in his last fight, even though it was Reese McKee, we saw him, really, face some. He faced a lot of adversity early in the fight, and he just kept fighting and kept trying to keep himself in the fight. He ended up losing that fight by KO or whatever in between rounds, but he just never gave up on himself. And he's also shown in past regional scene fights that he's just been in those dogfight positions before, and I just trust that he's going to be able to lean on that experience to get it done this weekend. So for my official prediction, give me Daniel Frunza by decision. That prop is sitting at plus 340. I also like the Radtke by submission prop. I think that there's some value in that as well. I think if Radtke wins, it is because he does get some of his wrestling going, and if he gets on top, the potential for him to get a submission is definitely there. So Radtke by submission at plus 550, there's also some really good value in that. That's all I got for you guys in this breakdown. Stop by for the next one where we're breaking down the last fight on the main card. We got Alan Nascimento versus Cody Durden. That fight has the potential to be a really sick fight. So stop by for that breakdown. And that's all I got for you guys today. So I'm the fuck out of here.